Hey, how's it going, guys? In this next installment of taking a look at some Kotobukiya modeling support goods weapons, this is M.S.G line number 44. This one is called the Heavy Machine Gun. As you can see, once again, we have a couple different options for that, some different option parts you can use, and how you want to equip this onto whatever kit you end up using this for, frame arms girl, or gunplug kits, or whatever else, I suppose. It can be anything. This one is a pretty cool, unique look. It's just a very long machine gun here. You have a couple different option parts for that, whether you want to use this different ammo drums like that. You have the bipod there at the front, which can also fold up, it looks like. So here on the back, we have just another photo of that, and then some option photos here. Here it is with the stylet, and over here with the GoRai. So you can see this one would be holding two of them. As far as I know, I don't think there's two included in here, but in fact, maybe there are. Taking a look at the runners, it looks like we actually maybe do have two of them included in here, which is pretty awesome. So the list price for this coming in at 1,000 yen, and for especially how simple this is, maybe we do actually have two of them included, so that's a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting us to actually have that. But for 1,000 yen, that does make sense. We would have two of them included in here, because yeah, it's pretty simple. So we have our instructions here on a separate piece of paper. We'll have the parts list there, and it looks like we just have two of the same runner. And we just got some simple instructions there for that. So yeah, here's what the runner looks like. It looks like it is labeled runner I, which is strange, which leads me to believe that this was included with some different kit maybe at some point, and that's why it's got that runner label on it, although I'm not sure off the top of my head. But you can see you just basically have the two halves of the main body of the gun, and then a couple other parts on there, and that's pretty much it. So pretty simple. We just got two of the same runner here for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this snapped together, and we'll take a look at some different examples. Alright, so here we have the heavy machine gun in its completed state, and then this is with all the equipment on there. And again, we do have two of them, and with the full equipment on, you can make all of that, so you don't have to worry about having to choose any parts, so you can make them both fully outfitted like this. And there are a few parts of this that are removable, so I'll go over all of that in just in a minute here, but just want to give you guys a look around the rifle. As it is, you are of course going to have a couple of seam lines on there that you're going to have to get rid of, but overall the detail is pretty nice. It's a relatively simple design, which I like. It's not super detailed, but there's definitely some room in there where you could go in and add a little bit more detail if you wanted. Otherwise, I mean, it's nice. The fact that it's got some nice detail on there, but it's not super detailed like crazy, I think makes it just a little bit more versatile a weapon to be able to use with a lot more different things. You can match up the detail if you wanted to make it super detailed to match a different kit that has a ton of detail on it. You can add some more if you want, but if you're using this with a kit that doesn't have a ton of detail on it already, then I think it's going to work out pretty well. And as always, guys, if you're looking for some different weapons like this, you can check out the link down there in the video description to USA Gundam Store. You can check what different M.S.G option weapons we have in stock there. You can save 10% off everything there on the site with the coupon code ZakuAurelius10, which is there in the video description as well. Alright, so first off, this camera detail here at the top is not removable. That's just molded in with the main body. And the bipod is removable, but you have to take the rifle apart, as this part which connects that in there is kind of sandwiched between the two halves. So you would have to just omit that from the start, otherwise you can't just take this out easily. So that's kind of a little bit disappointing. Wish that was just easy to take in and out if you wanted to. But anyway, the legs of the bipod just move down like that. They just rotate. So that's simple enough. And then for the kind of ammo drums here, you can remove them. You have the one underneath, which is removable just like that if you just wanted to have the two on there like that, or if you just wanted the one underneath, you can just remove that one off the top. And of course, removing those will just leave a big hole where you removed it. You could easily fill that up or put a different option piece over the top of that to cover it up if you want, or just leave it as it is. And at least you do have some options with that. As for the handle, I do like that it's very simple. That means that it's probably going to be easier to hold for something like an HG Gundam kit. We'll find out here in a moment. But the thing about it is that it's straight down, it doesn't move at all. So a lot of hands are built to hold a handle that has a slight angle to it. So holding a gun like this, it means it's kind of be holding it at a strange angle. So I think that may be an issue, but we'll find out here in a moment. Or you do have a little bit of a gap here in the back of this part of the gun, but that's pretty much it. Otherwise, just seam lines like I said, but it's pretty cool, pretty nicely designed. Alright, so here we have them with a frame arms girl kit, and there are going to be a couple of issues. The size in general, not too bad. I mean, they're definitely a little bit large, a little bit long, but the couple issues you're going to have, number one is just the weight. They're being pretty long and relatively front heavy with the ammo drums on there. It's going to be a little bit of an issue. I've got them kind of wedged up in the armpit there to support the weight here with the GoRai Kai. But the other issue is just going to be the handle, like I mentioned before, being a straight handle, and with the hands of the frame arms girl here, they're going to be meant to hold an angled gun handle. So you have to kind of then adjust for that by having the wrist up at an angle, and it just looks a bit odd if you look at it from the right way. Although generally I think you're probably not going to see that. So overall, pretty good use with the frame arms girl kits. A couple of minor issues that you'll have to work around, but overall they should work pretty well. I don't think this is on something that I would personally have as like a dual wielding thing with a frame arms girl kit, but just like one of these machine guns on its own with a frame arms girl kit like this with a Go-Raikai, where it has that little bit more kind of heavy militaristic look to it, I think it might work pretty well. Alright, so now here with the robot version of that, it's definitely going to be working a little bit better. I think the size fits perfectly, and the hands also fit really well, because this particular frame arms kit has just the regular holding hands, which are just meant for a straight handle, and so it works really well. The back end of the rifle fits pretty snugly right up against kind of the arm. It's not really getting in the way of anything, and it's also not really fitting in there like in any strange way or anything. So these rifles, I mean, these machine guns definitely seem very well suited, especially for a frame arms kit like this. That said, if you guys have built any of the frame arms kits, you know that a lot of them do tend to suffer a little bit from joints being a little bit weak, so it's definitely going to be one that you're probably going to have some weight issues if you're going to want to have this posed up in like a firing pose, holding the rifles up in the air. So it's just something that you can easily fix by just tightening the joint a little bit. Otherwise, I think getting these to work with a frame arms kit is going to be a pretty sure bet. Alright, and then as you might expect here with a 1/44 scale kit, the gun is just going to be a little bit too large. Now that said, I think if you're using this with something like a HGUC Yakudoga or something like that, it might actually work. Something in the larger range of the UC timeline, when you get to something like the Sazabi and that sort of era, the New Gundam, the Moon Gundam, something like that, something from Unicorn, one of the larger mobile suits, might be able to pull off the size, but as you can see, this overall height of this is going to be taller than your average 1/44 scale gunpla here, so it's going to be very, very large. The handle, once again, it just kind of is just a little bit too big to fit in the hand there, so I just kind of holding up there, just holding up the bipod just for example, just so you guys can see the overall height of this compared to the kit. But again, just the shaving down of the handle a little bit will get that to fit into the hand easily enough if you do want to put this in the hand of an HG kit. Otherwise, let's see how it's going to look with a larger 1/100 scale kit. Alright, so finally with a 1/100 scale gunpla kit, I think the size is going to be a good matchup for this, but once again, you're just going to have a problem with the handle. Again, with the handle of this being a very good fit for a frame arms kit, not going to be quite the fit for a 1/100 scale gunpla kit, for any master grade kit, because they generally have hands that are built for their specific weapon that comes with that kit. That's very much the case here with the sniper here as well. But if you wanted to fit something else that's a little bit different, you're probably going to have to do, once again, a little bit of modification to the handle. Just modifying the handle of the machine gun here, just going to be a very easy thing. If you need to make it smaller, just file it down a little bit smaller. If you need to make it a little bit larger, like in this case, for this kit to comfortably hold this, you would need to make the handle actually a little bit larger. Just add a little bit of plot plate to the handle just to make it a little bit larger so that it fits in the hand snugly, or, you know, just glue it in place, whatever you need. And so I'm having to wedge it up underneath the armpit of the gym sniper here just so that it can stay in the hand without falling down, because otherwise it's just too loose in the hand. So that's going to be it for the heavy machine gun, guys. I like the fact that this comes with 2 of them in the package, so that's pretty cool. And just it doesn't have a ton of different option parts, but you do have a little bit of option there, whether you want to use the 1, 2, or 3, or none, I guess, of the ammo drums there. You can choose to have the bipod on there or not if you want, so some pretty cool options. Hopefully this review has been helpful or useful for any of you guys if you're looking for something like this, and just thank you guys as always for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Bye.